right, good morning. Rocking it out. The Weeknd, Blinding Lights. You ever see that video? Welcome to the Daily Dose. And I'm talking about that video of that. And you may have not seen it. And maybe I'm sure there's probably thousands of other videos made of this song, The Weeknd. Let's turn it up real quick. Happy Saturday to you, by the way. This is the Daily Dose with Mark Avens. Yes, that's me. They do that little dance routine. Blinded Lights. And I think they're like from Ireland or somewhere, or Scotland, and or England. I don't remember where. Somewhere European. And they're like a British family. There's an old guy in the family. And they try to teach him how to do that dance. It's pretty cool. It's actually like a long video, but it's actually really, really funny. So anyway, I don't know. The song was on, so I'm going to start with that. Happy Saturday. Welcome to the Daily Dose. We are in a chamber so that I do not get destroyed by mosquitoes. I don't know what it is. It literally like switched. They all hatched. There's a billion mosquitoes in my yard everywhere. So, you know, if you've come on to the Daily Dose, I've done it outside, front yard, backyard. Typically I do that. I got family in the house and we have a small house. So the Daily Dose I typically do outdoors. And while I was sitting in my chair just about ready to get started, I literally got tore up by mosquitoes. And so it's one of today's gratitude Saturdays. The first thing I'm grateful for is a place called Home Depot. I don't know if you've heard of that, but Home Depot is a place where I'm going to get something to kill those mosquitoes. I don't care if I have to light them on fire. I don't know what, but I'm grateful for stores like that. So anyway, this is not about mosquitoes. It's Gratitude Saturday. Welcome to the Daily Dose. What the heck is the Daily Dose? Well, for the last 69 days straight, I've come on at 8 a.m. Give it 1 or 2 days, I had to adjust schedules, but I've been on here 69 days straight. The Daily Dose of encouragement in a time and in a world where there's not all really that encouraging, right? So there's lots of things that can definitely turn your dial towards discouragement. But for now, and while I have your attention, let me know that you're here. Give me a little thumbs up. I see the little eyeball thing that shows that there's people watching. If you're watching, come on, give me a little thumbs up. Don't worry, I won't call you out. Today's a light one. Well, maybe not so light, but it's Gratitude Saturdays. We do a quick weekend review. Really, like the weekend review is what you missed if you didn't catch me live. Monday through Friday. We started out Monday was how to do what you love to do longer. We talked about foundations. And the reason why I mention this, if one of these strikes an interest to you, I would just recommend you just scroll through. You can actually look on my feed. You can even search videos on there and you can go back, and I labeled them, numbered them. So they're like 69, 68, 67. So you can just kind of go back in order. But Monday we talked about foundations. Tuesday, I brought some emotions, just a perspective from being like a white man in this world, one white man's perspective. If that interests you, go back and watch that. That was a tearjerker. Bring definitely your tissues. Wednesday, we talked about if you're still out of shape, what happens next? So that was on Wednesday. On Thursday, we talked about kindness being really the true strength and power. Hey, John, what's going on, Julie? Good morning. And on Friday, yesterday, we talked about the first step to winning your weekends. And I know one of the struggles is the weekends, and that can be regarding a lot of things. And I talked about competitiveness. In fact, John, go check that out. You'll get a kick out of that one. It has to do with floor hockey back in high school. And when we beat the seniors in floor hockey, it was so awesome. Anyway, I shared a bit of that and about winning your weekends. But today it's about gratitude. And, you know, seriously, like this morning, as I was thinking about this morning's topic and Daily Dose and being grateful, took my dog for the normal walk down to the beach, and it was first time this season. Boom. Not a sunrise. Well, first time in a while. There hasn't been much of a sunrise. But then also God was like, I got you. And he showed me something even cooler, and it was the turtle track. So go back and watch the video I posted a little while ago, literally like an hour ago, on my walk with the dog. And there was these sea turtle tracks, and the mama lays their eggs at this time of year. And there's a bunch of them that'll be coming up. And it was really, really cool, just the gift of life and thinking of new life. And, you know, that was kind of the first thing that made me think of, gosh, I've been surrounded by, we live, you know, close to the beach, but we have a bit of a jungle at our house. So we feed cats, but it happens to be there's opossums that take over the cat food. So there's a little baby one and has new life, and the cats are a little bit older. But then in the back, we have all these cardinals in the back of our yard, cardinals and little baby cardinals. And then I'm seeing all these little lizards. So here where I live, we get not the big iguanas, but like the little lizards. And there's so many of those as well. In fact, I need more of them because I think they eat mosquitoes. So maybe I can raise some lizards to attack all the mosquitoes that are in my yard. Now there's probably baby mosquitoes and I don't like them. So I'm not grateful for those. So I'll just be completely transparent about it. So really, I just wanted to come on here and share what I'm grateful for, but more, I want to hear what you're grateful for. So my challenge to you this morning is where maybe there's a lot of things that just make you not think of being grateful or having any kind of gratitude. And I would love to hear, and I'm going to share with you about gratitude in a minute because it's something that I feel is so powerful and can be used as a way to empower you, is being grateful for what you do have, what is available, what you do have in front of you. And it doesn't have to be like world-changing gratitude. It can be just little things, right? Like I just shared basic. I'm grateful that there's a Home Depot. I can go get some mosquito killer and take care of the mosquitoes. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for this car that's keeping me protected, right? It doesn't have to be like this whole grand gesture of gratitude and so forth and so on. So my question to you is, hey, Cindy, what are you grateful for? I'd love to hear it down in the chat right now, whether you're on here live or you're catching the replay. If you're catching the replay, I'll come back, I'll check and see. I like to look and see and interact and see what you're grateful for. So I'd love to see and know what you're grateful for. It could be something small like, hey, I'm grateful I just woke up another day, right? I mean, I'm grateful God gave me another day to live. I'm grateful to have a roof over my head. I'm grateful to have a job. I'm grateful to have a spouse. I'm grateful. Those are pretty big things, right? But I'll say I'm grateful, like for me, easy one. And I'm just looking at myself. I'm grateful I don't have hair. Really, like, I know this is not a jest. I'm really grateful. I don't have to use shampoo. I literally go in. I mean, this is truth. This is just me being raw. Is I go in and every day or two, in fact, I think it's starting to, and the reason why I don't have hair is because when I do grow it, it only grows on two sides. I am very comfortable with being bald. It's no problem at all. I used to have nice hair. In fact, my son reminds me every day when I look at his beautiful hair. And I said, dude, you better be careful because if you're going to follow along like dad, that might not be there forever. So enjoy it now while you can. But I'm grateful for not having hair because I don't need shampoo. I just go in and shave, use the razor, boom, 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 clean it off. So what do we got here? Saying I'm grateful for the dedicated protesters who are doing everything they can to initiate change. Yes, absolutely. It can be something, and that's big. That's a big thing of gratitude, right? And it could be any and all the above. So one of the things, body being able to freely move at 67 years old. Yes, that's another thing. So one of the things, I think it's to me, I was thinking of just nature and new life and new beginnings. And, with change comes new beginnings, right? And I think even coming out of this coronavirus, right, as many people are going into going back to, or maybe going into this new normal. I don't like to going back to the normal, going back to normal, because there really isn't, right? At the end of the day, it's almost something you don't want to wish for is like going back to normal. Like who wants normal? Normal kind of makes me think of like mediocre. Like I don't strive for mediocrity. It's not in me. In fact, I talked about winning the other day and about how to win your weekends. And it was like, if you want to live kind of mediocre or just kind of, vanilla-ish, if you will, kind of just like ho-hum, yeah, I'll just go along with what everybody's doing. That's cool. That's your deal. It's just not kind of where I'm at. And so I'm grateful for not feeling like I'm living a mediocre life. One of the things, again, this is not saying I'm better or worse. It's just what I choose to do or not. I'm grateful to have a platform. I'm grateful to have technology. I'm grateful to be able to do my entire business through my phone. I'm grateful that wasn't affected through the coronavirus, so to speak. My clients had some adjustments. We had to adjust and shift. But other than that, my business actually has been moving forward, right? And it doesn't mean that I'm just sitting on the sidelines. So I want to just share with you two scriptures. One, and again, if you hadn't known this, if you haven't come on live, just so you know, on the front end, right from the get-go, I don't typically just come out and say this, but if you haven't noticed, my faith is it is actually the single most important things in my life. So where my grounded and my foundation and where I feel like I'm winning is when I'm pursuing God's pursuit for me. I think I spent a lot of the years in my life pursuing for me to get better as far as, and there's not necessarily anything wrong with it, but it was a selfish thing to do. And I feel like now, while there's definitely selfish motives at times, I feel like also God's directing me. And the only way he directs me is when I pay attention to what he has for my life. So one of the things in my daily affirmations, I have about 15 of them I write down on a daily basis. Let's see if you're, oh, sorry, I lost you there. So one of the first things I ask is I say, God, help me direct my path, guide my steps, direct my path. And I'm grateful for when I focus and listen to him, even if there's things in my life that I don't like or agree with. They're really, really, truly things to be grateful for, because God's got a bigger, better plan for that. And sometimes the planning is not in your timing, it's in his timing. That's one of the things I've learned over the course of my life. So Psalms 118, the Bible says, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. His love doesn't just endure when you agree. His love doesn't just endure when you're listening to him or following him. His love, listen, that's the thing that's crazy, is he loves us regardless of what we do in our actions. He still has the love of it. What a way to model, right? If you're going to model love for others and caring for others and seeing change for others is first knowing God, because if you can understand the love that he has for you, the amount of love that he has for you, then it's something that can rub off on you in due time, but it does take intentionality. But give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Now, I don't necessarily like all the answers that I hear from him, but I know he's got a better plan and a bigger plan, and I have faith, and sometimes it takes blind faith and blind trust to go into it. But I can tell you, he has not left my side, and I'm forever, forever grateful for that. Colossians, this is the last one, being thankful. Colossians says, and let the peace of Christ live in your hearts, to which indeed you were called in one body, and be thankful. Let the peace of Christ. Listen, there's a lot of things that aren't at peace in this world right now. There's a lot of things that are all over the place that can make you angry, emotions that are true, real emotions. And I think hardest thing is having peace, is finding peace in it all. Well, and you're like, how can you have peace when all the stuff is going on in this world, when everybody's all at odds and the differences in opinions and spewing hatred, and don't get me wrong, those are all terrible things. But how I can go through my day is not in saying that, oh, I'm just ignorant and not, avoiding it all. No, not at all. It's that my peace is not found in this world. My peace is not found in what's going on in other people's lives. My peace is not found in the good and bad in other people. My peace is found in Christ. My peace is found through him, because at the end of the day, I know at the end of my life, which is a very short time comparing to eternity. And when I've put my faith and trust in the Lord, I don't know if you've ever watched this, and it just came up in my mind. It made me think of Francis Chan, who's a pastor. If you've ever heard, he has some great books. Crazy Love is a great book. And he does a video. He has a sermon, but it's a clip. You could go look it up and do Francis Chan rope analogy. Now, if you're a believer, if you're a Christian and you believe in God and have faith and trust in him, this will resonate with you. If not, it may not, but it may actually resonate with you if you believe in after you're done and gone. So what happens is, if you think of this rope analogy, just look up Francis Chan rope analogy. And if you think of a rope, at the end of the rope is like a tip, like the tip of the rope. And they usually like seal it off with some, they heat it to tighten it and to close it. And if you think of life as this rope that just goes on and on and on forever. And your life is representation of, as a Christian, of the entire rope. Life on earth is really like just the tip of the rope, just the tip of the rope. And I think of, as far as being grateful, if I was only living my life for the time I was here on earth for, say, 70, I'm 47, I'd love to live, the average male lives about 78 years. If I were to live for 78 years on this earth, then I have how many more years? 31 more years, right? So say 31 more years, and then that's it. It's done. If I was only focused on my last 31 years, then maybe my opinion on life and the peace that I would have in me would be different, right? It would be different. So if you're in that stage, and you may be different, you're like, hey, I'm living life every day as it's the last day because I only have so many and I'm going to give everything I got. Totally get that. But as a Christian man and a believer and somebody who surrendered their lives to Christ, is that my life on here is so short, however I spend it, because it's the eternity that is truly what's important. I know it's crazy to think, we're like, well, you can't, Well, I'm not looking to that right now, but I'm looking, what can I do on this earth right now? What are the things that I can be doing right now? Eternal things. What does God want for our lives as Christians? He doesn't want us to just know God. He doesn't want us to just know him and have a relationship with him. That's huge. But he wants other people to come alongside you, and he wants other people to know who he is. And he uses people, whether they're eloquent or whether they're pastors, or whether they're sitting in a car on Facebook Live, or whether they're in your gym or in your home or in your neighborhood, whether they're people you like or don't like, whether you believe in what they have to say or not. As Christians, we're called to love others, right? And we're called to point people to him. And if you think of that rope analogy, for me, the belief and the peace that I have right now today, despite everything going on in the world, the peace that I have and gratitude that I have is that God showed up. He was chasing after me my whole life. I finally heard the knock on his door and I listened to him. I opened the door and let him in my life, and that's it. The peace comes from letting God in my life. And when I let him in my life, I realized that I'm not meant for right now. I'm meant for the eternity things. Down road, eternity, the rope that goes on and on forever. So I think as if we're foolish in believing if we're just living at the tip of the rope, that's just our time here on earth, which is so damn short. Our time is actually not just the rope. Our time, what we do in that time actually can change the course of eternity. Does that make sense? Now, I know I went a little bit deeper here, and I said I wasn't sure if I was going to go deep, but I don't know. God's calling me to go deep. And my gratitude today is that he's giving me this voice, right? He's given me the voice to share with you. Again, I'm not a pastor. And you want to know how I found my voice? From just getting on here 69 times. And I've probably honestly been on lives and videos and hundreds of times. And I sucked at it and I failed at it miserably in the beginning. In fact, I took a public speaking course way back, maybe 10 years ago, and I completely bombed it. It was like the most mortifying thing. Like, honestly, it was the most embarrassing thing I've ever probably experienced in my life. It was like where your pits smell, and it was like terrible. I failed it miserably, and I paid a lot of money for this public speaking course. And I realized I wasn't going to give up, and I wasn't going to give up, and I was going to not give up. And God started to open the path to me to not give up. And I just started to listen to him more, and he said, don't give up. Don't give up. And I got on, started doing lives, and now my whole entire business is crazy that I run through doing videos like this, messages, talking to clients, videos, phone calls, so forth, so on. And I don't even feel like I'm that good at it yet, but I feel like I'm at peace because God's got me. He's got me covered. And he's saying, just don't give up. See, God never gives up on you, no matter whether you have a relationship or not. He hasn't given up on you. So don't give up on yourself. Please don't do that. Have gratitude for even the littlest things, because that may be all you need today to get through today, not tomorrow. Here, worry about today. Take care of what you need to do today to live your best life. Let God take care of the rest. You may be concerned about the next week and the next month and the next year, where your kids are going to college, and where your relationship is going and where your job may be taking you. But the hardest thing, and I've done it myself, is when I start focusing on all of tomorrow and lose my focus on today, then things get jacked up. So today I'm really grateful. I'm grateful that I got up, that he gave me a gift to get up. I'm grateful that I saw those turtles, or I saw the turtle tracks, not the turtle, I didn't get to see them, but I'm grateful I saw the turtle tracks. I'm grateful for all the nature that I have. I'm grateful for the mosquito barrier that I have sitting in my car. I'm grateful for the Home Depots, things that are giving me just gratitude. But at the end of the day, I'm most grateful for a God who I know I can trust and who I love, who wants good things for me. And I'm at peace with that today. And I hope you are as well. And I hope this daily dose found you well. I hope it encouraged you. Whether you're a believer, a Christian or not, or whether you feel like you have no gratitude at all, or you have some gratitude, I hope the daily dose found you well. This is all I ask in return. I don't even know how long I've gone on here. 20 minutes, that's about my average, right? I say I'm going to do 10 minutes, and then I start to ramble, but I have a lot to say. And I hope that the words that come from me land on you well. My only ask is that if you found this helpful, you come back on and listen to more. If you found this helpful, and maybe a friend who could be encouraged, who's really having a hard time feeling anything to be grateful for, you pass this on to a friend. You're talking, if you're going for a walk in the neighborhood or you go to the gym and you feel somebody struggling, or you have a family member, say, hey, go check out Mark. That's it. I have a mission. My mission is in this year, 2020, I don't care, coronavirus, no virus, whatever. My mission this year is to reach 1,000 people. I want to help 1,000 people this year. Last year was about 300, and I'd said, well, let's try to double that. And then my mentor and coach said, well, why not triple that? Why not go for 1,000? And then, you know what? That's what I'm doing. I'm trying for 1,000. And I would say is, I think you have the capacity to do big things and great things in your life. And sometimes maybe it can just start with having a little bit of gratitude in your day. So that's why we're going to do this every Saturday. So plan on this. This is like, bank on this every Saturday. We are going to do a gratitude Saturday, every Saturday. This, the theme for Saturday moving forward is Gratitude Saturday. So I hope this landed you well. Hey, listen, I'm going to say hello here. Christy, thanks for joining. And I hope you listen. If you're just catching this now, go back and watch it. I'll post it. It'll be on replay. Hey, Dave and Pam, good morning to you. Hey, we need to connect. I'm going to reach out to you after. Cindy, appreciate you. Love you. Listen, I think one of the other things too, that I'm just say this too, and I don't even know who's all listening, because I know there's lots of eyeballs I see up there, but sometimes you don't chime in and like and love. Is the little loves. It's easy to just hit the love thing and move on with your day, but it's different to actually say it. So I'm going to say it. I'm going to initiate it. Maybe there's somebody in your life that you need to tell them that you love them. So I'm going to start it off, and let's see if this can be a chain reaction. I love you. I love you for watching. I love you for coming on here. I appreciate you. God loves you. Take care and have a blessed day. We'll see you.